Last time on the Lazy Geckos. We prepare for our departure by getting our safety gear set. We also talked about a new recipe for boat life. You met Fiesta, our drone. Then we threw off the lines and started our cruise south. We have plans to sail along the ICW and offshore during our travels to South Florida before heading towards the Bahamas. It took about 5 hours of motoring with the winds on the bow before we hit our first anchorage in Daytona, Florida.
Anchoring techniques. This is the way that the lazy geckos do it. It's not so lazy.
Well, when we first started doing this whole sailing thing, we asked some friends and we met, hey, how do you anchor? And we got really vague answers, didn't we?
Yeah, and
just do this and that'd be fine.
About an hour before we're about to anchor, we go through a scenario. We go through scenarios.
Well, we just plan on it. Well, when we first started, we'd okay, if this happens, do this. But if that happens,
we had 3 different scenarios.
No, it ended up being 20 of them. We're
so
overwhelmed. I don't know what to do anymore.
So now what it is Jeremiah usually picks our anchorage. And he'll be like, okay, we're going to go here. And he'll show me on the map so I have an idea. And I'll be like, okay.
And the way that I do that is I look at active captain and I read reviews about anchorages. And you'll read reviews charts are marked at 8 feet, but really it's 6. Or charts are marked at 5, and really you'll have 10.
Yeah.
I look at the forecast for the night and figure out which way the winds are going to be coming from. I try to look at the currents. Currents are crazy. You don't know which way they're really going to go half the time, but try to look at which way the currents are going to swing, and then I try to anchor so that it works with that. So tonight the winds will be coming from the southwest, so I tried to anchor with that in mind so that our boat's already facing that way. Now sometimes you can't do that because of winds or current or whatever. In this case we were, because the winds are already coming from the south and the water is as well. So we were able to face south, drop our anchor, and now we'll be hooked up really solidly without too much spinning on your hook.
And all that really goes into that is when we're ready, we put our headsets on, hit the windlass, I go up there, I tell them, let me know a minute out so I can untie my safety, and I like to let some chain out on the anchor so I can just give it a push with my foot, or sometimes I have to wrestle it with my hand. It doesn't drop fluidly on our boat. So I'll do that, and then he'll say drop.
What I do is I come up to where I want to drop the anchor, face the bow into wherever I want to be, and then I slow the boat down. And as soon as I hit 0 knots, I tell her to drop, so the anchor will drop straight to the ground.
And then I know when I see my first set of zip ties, our anchor is on the ground, and I say we're on the ground. And then that's when we work together, and he takes the boat in reverse, and I slowly let my chain out with my windlass. We talk back and forth. I let him know each time I see a zip tie, it represents 10 feet. And then 10 feet before however much we want to drop, I will tie this number knot up.
Right. You put your anchor down, and then you want to back away so you're dropping your chain along the bottom, so it's not all piling up on top of your anchor. So you're dropping it along the bottom, and then you'll get to the point where it comes up to your boat. And you don't want your anchor pulling on your windlass. That's not made to hold the boat like that. So what you want to do is take a piece of line, and she'll tie the number knot on.
And then I'll release the rest of my chain, and it goes along with the line the snubber's tied up to. And I'll let that line get tight, but I'll have slack for my chain.
And I'll back it up, and she'll tell me, hey, the line's getting tighter, and it would kind of go up like that, you know, and be stretched straight out. And I'll watch my knot speed. And I go back, and I'm at 0, and bring it up on this engine is 2,000 RPM. So I'll bring it up to 2,000 RPM and let it sit there, and we shouldn't move if the anchor's holding. So when you're at full tension, what you'll have in the front is your line coming off of a cleat, going straight down really tight to your snubber knot on the chain down there, which continues all the way down. Now at that snubber knot, your chain will be loose and coming up to your windlass, so there's no tension on that windlass at all. So it just transfers it straight to the line, to the cleat.
And really it's gotten easier and easier. This time it was actually enjoyable, and I really attribute that to these guys.
Except the fact that we came in and we had to turn on the GoPro for filming. So, and she couldn't reach it because I put it high on the mast, so I had to stop, run up there, and do it right before we were supposed to drop, which messed up our angle of attack. And then some other boat was creeping behind us, like we were kind of pulling back out so we could do a U-turn, and they were coming up like they were going to drop. I was like, I don't think so. So I was kind of pissed, and I was yelling into the mic. So check this out. Again, John, good buddy of ours, at the last marina we were at, told us about this Lucy light. I don't know if I know you can find them in West Marine, but we got them offline. It's an inflatable, waterproof solar light, and it has different settings. There's the solar panel right there. You just blow it up. It's inflatable, and then you can put it on low, medium, high, and then I like this setting, one flash every second. So what you do is you put this sucker up here on the bow, and it lets people see you better at night, and it's solar powered. It's great. So we usually keep a light on the side where Reese sleeps. We keep it right there so people can see. It's like right in your face, because the anchor light on a sailboat is way up top. Nobody's looking. You know who's looking for anchor lights? Sailors. Nobody else. And sailors are moving at 3 knots. You know, so you want people to see you. So Lucy light, check it out. Right?
Yeah.
Breaker 19 radio check.
So we just got them. This is our first time using them.
Yeah.
And I'd say that's where anchoring begins and ends. Now that we have
communication. Bluetooth, you can also hook up your phone to it, so you can talk on the phone if you get a phone call, or you can listen to music from your iPod or something like that.
You can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. The music loud, my women want my being kicked around since I was born. But now it's alright, it's okay. And you may look the other way, but we can try to understand. A New York Times of that man. You further away, the other you're staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking, and we're staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive.
Well, I am completely out of breath. That's the first time I've raised and lowered the sail all by myself. And so I raised the sail, and then I came and I took the helm so Jeremiah could do filming, and I also lowered the sail later on. So I feel like I did every aspect of the sailing with raising and lowering the mainsail, which is great for me. I had a lot of anxiety coming to do it, so we chose today because the winds are very subtle, so I felt comfortable. It was good for me since the last time that we sailed, we had our main up and we kind of heeled over much more than I wanted to. I was kind of looking down at everything. I definitely had some anxiety, a little bit of panic. So we decided to do it today, which was great, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you did a great job.
We are almost at Cocoa Beach. Can't wait to check out Cocoa Beach and show you guys the hardware store. And I think there's also a pub that makes an amazing Philly steak sandwich.
Philly cheesesteak?
Philly cheesesteak, you'll like that. We're gonna go get dinner there and then we're heading on south.
Next time on the Lazy Geckos. We jump on Taco and head into Cocoa Village, where we get to explore this cute little town. All before we weigh anchor and continue our journey south. If you enjoy all that we bring to you, then check out our Patreon. Remember, you can always tip us via PayPal by visiting our blog at www.lazygeckos.net. And patrons get all the behind-the-scenes action on Vimeo.